any harm the way that you've done with us. You know, it was almost like, well, you guys pulled the trigger first, and then you guys couldn't even tell us the truth, so now you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, and he does tell them straight up. He's like, tell me right now exactly what happened, and, you know, and we'll take care of what we need to take care of, but you guys will be fine, pretty much. And Jen, being scared, she lies to try to save Adam, you know. Even though I feel like you like Adam because he is like the one that's kind of not... He's assertive, he's kind of smart, he's
very blunt.
Yeah, and he seems to have everything figured out, you know, but then as stuff kind of unravels, you see that he's probably the most, like, the biggest coward of everyone.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff that he chooses to do, you know, and then leaving his girlfriend multiple times, you know, and he when they start running away, when they start getting picked off for them to go be taken to the compound for trial, he leaves his girlfriend Mila, who's the doctor who they kind of needed, which, so it's sad when she has to go, but she ends up falling into this pit of spikes, and then instead of, you know, staying with her at least to comfort her if she was going to die, he's like, oh, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get help, and he leaves her after saying like 2 times that he wasn't gonna gonna do that, you know, and it was in vain because he gets caught anyway later. But then one of the Foundation guys, they come up to the pit, you know, in the full headgear, and very ruthlessly she says, help me, and they shoot her with an arrow, killing her instantly. But I don't know if that was like a mercy killing to them because of where she was at, her predicament.
Yeah, I was going to say that could have been interpreted, you know, the 2 different ways, as kind of they're ruthless murderers, or like you said, it was kind of like a mercy kill. That's kind of, thinking back on it and understanding how they are and their I guess culture, I guess they would say that's probably a mercy kill, because she's not going to survive because she has, you know, the stake going straight through her chest.
Yeah, but yeah, and then going back to what happens to Adam, Venable, because they lie about the essentially the murder that Adam commits, he bludgeons Adam in front of everyone, the community, and then his friends, and they're helpless to do anything. He does try to take was the little girl hostage and get out that way, which was kind of like, in retrospect, it seems like a cowardly move, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, I don't know, man. And
yeah, it's kind of like, where are you really gonna go? Like, for one, you have no idea where you're at.
Yeah, they even said you can, like, you guys can try to leave, but if, you know, our traps don't kill you, the animals will.
Yeah.
You know, and then anyway, Adam gets caught again, and they beat his head in with the same tree that he kills one of the hunters with. So it's
Midsummer style.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying, very much an eye for an eye, you know. And then Jen and everyone are sentenced to what they call darkness, which is where they take you down to this cellar type thing, and they burn your eyes out with a hot poker, and they throw you in to just pretty much live nocturnally forever, for as long as you can last, I suppose, which is very, very scary and kind of seems inhumane a little bit.
Yeah, when they go back to that scene, you know, towards the end, it was gnarly. to see those people.
Yeah, how many there are down there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's like that's the punishment. There is no jail. It's either you die or darkness, which is darkness. You might as well be dead because there's no kind of life, you know.
Yeah. Did you notice? I know we're skipping ahead, but the when they're making their escape, I guess it's the guard who's supposed to be watching the cave or whatever, the dungeon.
Yeah.
He was bringing back a girl who had her eyes burnt out, but I was taking it. I was assuming that he was using her for sex or something.
Uh-huh.
That was it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like as things start not going the Foundation's way, a lot of their characters kind of start showing their true nature. Like, not everybody is... I feel like Venable has this kind of honorable code to a certain point, but then one of his right-hand man, when Jen gets away, the dad ends up finding her, and then he gets sentenced to darkness, but it's supposed to be carried out in dawn, which gives them a few hours to come up with an escape plan. So Jen ends up, getting him, and they try to escape, and his Venable's right-hand man finds her, and they have this kind of tussle, and he's like, oh, when I get you back, like, up there, I'm gonna have my way with you, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you start seeing, like, they are kind of, how do you say,
barbaric.
Like, yes, or some of them aren't on the same level of respect, I guess. I don't know, that's just my interpretation, but let's talk about Scott, her dad, a little bit.
Yeah.
He has
it's a dude from Stranger Things.
That's right. It is. I was trying to pinpoint where I've seen him before.
It's the white hair.
Yeah.
Silver fox.
Yeah, he has a big kind of subplot where, he's just on the hunt to find his daughter. He knows that, she's disappeared and it's unlike her. And everybody in town is just trying to basically say, like, yo, she's dead or she's not coming back.
Yeah, she's gone. Don't, give up, get a new daughter, basically.
She gets beat up by the townspeople.
Yeah, but that does not stop him.
No.
Nope. He takes a beating and he's like, all right, next day I'm getting ready to go.
He is like, fuck that. Like, I'm not giving up. Which is awesome. What a great dad. What a great dad figure. And then he recruits, I think the same lady who tells the group in the beginning of the film to stay on the trail. She says, yo, they went up on the Appalachian Trail and I told them not to veer off, but when people go missing up there, they don't come back, and she feels bad for him because he's going to go up there, and she thinks that he's probably going to die too, trying to find his daughter. So she kind of recruits, like, these hunter types, townsfolk. I think
it was her nephew, right?
Yeah, and then his son as well. And he's like, yeah, I've come into contact with them, and they're not nice people. I want to help you, and I need the money to put my kid through a welding school or some shit like that.
Yeah, I was expecting so much more from that guy.
Yeah, because
he's like, I felt like they were building him up because he's like, these fuckers got me. I took an arrow to the skull. It barely missed me. And then, like 10 minutes later, his son falls into a hole. And he's trying to pull him out, and then they hit another tripwire, and then they drop the big ass log with spikes on it, and it kills him instantly, or kills both of them instantly.
Yeah, I guess that piece was just too heavy. It just impales both of them, and then the dad, Scott, ends up being on his own anyway. And he fares well for a time, and then he ends up running into the Foundation because, of course, they don't know who he is. They take him to the compound. He pulls out his firearm. They're not very affected by it. And then that's when we see Jen, because Jen and her boyfriend Darius, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
They talk they talk the Foundation and Venable out of giving them the darkness treatment, and they're like, look, we have valuable resources within us that you can use, and if you do this to us right now, you're gonna waste that all. And so she's like, Darius, my boyfriend, he works with communities and making structures and everything better, and so that can translate for you guys. Like, you need resources, different things, climate change, all these things.
Like, you need to repair your buildings when they start failing, and he can do that. And she offers herself up to be someone's wife.
Yeah, because that's the thing about our main protagonist, which is Jen, I would think, is that she's went to college, but she's just a barista, and she really hasn't made up her mind as far as a career path. And so this film, for her, it seems like a journey into self-discovery, where she's realizing the power that she has within herself, and that's starting to come out. And so she's like, yeah, I'll be somebody's wife. There's no sickness in my family, no cancer. I can give whoever, strong, healthy babies. To which Venable later, takes her up on, and he's like, yo, I lost my wife, and so I need somebody else. And then so Jen kind of takes up on that mantle. And so going back to when Scott is introduced to the Foundation and he's very confused, he gets hit with an arrow from Jen, and that's basically to put up this front that Jen is still down with the Foundation, and that she's not leaving for anybody, even if they are blood, Yeah. Something that they buy. I think Venable and everybody buys it because of that, the effort that she does with shooting her father. And then that's when Venable's like, your daughter's no longer here. I'm sorry for that. Your, how do you say, like, it's, the order is darkness to be carried out at dawn. So they're basically going to blind her dad, put him down in the dungeon in the morning. And so, of course, Jen actually isn't down with that. She's able to, escape and get him out. And they have like a kind of a fight with all our main players in the Foundation. A lot of them get killed. They end up getting pretty far down the mountain, and they run into some of the townsfolk that actually beat up Scott earlier in the film.
Yeah.
As I guess they felt bad, and they wanted to try to help, kind of late, which is bizarre, but it worked cinematically. And one of those main dudes is like, yo, I'm really sorry about what beating you up. It was just,
he says like, I have a daughter too, right?
No, he was like, my nephew came up here and he never came back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he was like, so we're up here and we're trying to help you. And then they end up getting confronted by a couple more warriors, and they end up making it out, or so we think.
And Venable's right there to watch them.
Yeah.
That scene was pretty dope when the hillbilly guy, his name's Nate, he threw the moonshine and created that big old fire.
Yeah.
It was really visually entertaining to see like the fire around Venable with his like deer skull on and everything looked pretty awesome.
Yeah. What I loved about this film is there's, besides probably that huge tree tumbling down, there's no CGI.
Yeah.
No CGI to be found in this, and I feel like that's going to work for this film later on down the line as far as aging gracefully,
Oh, for sure.
definitely going to be a cult classic down the line if it isn't already. But so we think our story